and welcome to News2Gamers, the centre of the universe for everything gaming. As always, I'm your host Simon Hill, and this is our last ever episode of N2G TV until we relaunch in September. And we've got a few surprises in store for you. Myself and Leanne will be telling you all about that a little later on, but before that, let's take a look at what's on tonight's show.
Coming up on tonight's show, we have the latest trailer for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And Simon and Neil will also be telling you what we know so far in What We Know. We'll also be checking out Wonder Woman in Injustice 2's trailer. Leanne will be filling us in on the latest updates from social media. And Richard will be bringing us a very special respawn. But first, here's the lowdown.
Let's kick it off with the king of fighting games. Jury, Street Fighter V's next downloadable character, will be available from the 26th of July, Capcom has said, which was yesterday. However, you won't be able to play with the character until tomorrow. As with the game's DLC character, you can buy Jury with fight money, or real money. Jury, who made her debut in Street Fighter 4, is a Taekwondo expert from South Korea and is described by Capcom as a provocative SIN agent. In addition to this, she'll also come with story and premium battle costumes. Pretty exciting, I can't wait to get my hands on her. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has shown off some intense new gameplay alongside giving us a look into the impressive new UNSA Retribution flight deck, which will be your central hub to restock, reboot, gain the knowledge for your next campaign mission or side missions. Let's take a look here on News2Gamers, it looks badass.
Welcome to CSV-141, the UNSA Carrier Retribution. Designed with realism and function in mind, familiar layouts of modern-day naval carriers and spacecraft combine to create a gritty, raw environment grounded in reality. And as Captain Nick Reyes, players will take the helm of the warship and lead its crew on a perilous journey across our vast solar system. The Retribution acts as the game's central hub, where players will prep, deploy, and return from missions as the action unfolds in real time. Players will lead their ship and crew across the main storyline or on optional side missions, where additional upgrades can be earned to help them fight enemy forces that have attacked our world and threaten our very way of life. The Retribution's flight deck is an extremely active place. Reminiscent of present-day carriers, air-based crews work around the clock to maintain and resupply aircraft launching to and returning from combat. Donning iconic naval jerseys with each color designating a specific critical role aboard the vessel, crew members will engage with the player directly. Their interactions range from short gestures to more instructional conversations, designed to push the narrative forward and keep players immersed in the world around them.
Solar wind should be steady. Good hunting, Captain.
Thanks, AT.
Like its crew, the Retribution has a personality of its own, with a rich character arc that unfolds throughout the progression of the story.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so the Walking Dead developer Telltale Games has appeared at San Diego Comic-Con's panel to reveal some new images and details about their upcoming Season 3. We know now that players will control 2 different characters and will be introduced to a familiar face. One of the playable characters is serious protagonist Clementine, who's aged a few years since Season 2. You'll switch between her and the new character Javier, but you won't play as both of them at the same time. Additionally, Telltale confirmed that AJ, the child of Rebecca, will return in Season 3. Don't hold it against yourself if you don't remember him. He's a bit young in Season 2. Walking Dead Season 3 is set to premiere later this year on PS4, Xbox One, PS3, Xbox 360, PC, Mac and mobile devices, and I'm super excited. So the results are in. Over 3.1 million of you have voted to make Warsaw FC star Flo Cavalier front cover of FIFA 17. Maybe next season. You've actually made Marco Reus your choice of FIFA 17. The speedy German winger is now the global cover athlete for FIFA 17. He beat out competition from Anthony Martial, James Rodriguez and Eden Hazard. In a recent statement, Reus said, "I'm honoured to join a very distinguished group of footballers to appear on the cover of FIFA. Most of all, I'm humbled that the fans have chosen me, and I will strive to make them proud with my performances on the pitch. I'm still hopeful though that next season, Warsaw will be the cover of FIFA 18. So finally, Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming to PlayStation 4, and it will include a new chapter featuring PlayStation VR support when it finally launches on October the 11th. The game originally arrived on Xbox One as a controversial timed exclusive last December. It got a generally positive reception, although in the meantime the PS4 has seen Uncharted 4 launch and lap up all the critical glory. Still, Square Enix is doing its best to make the PS4 version as attractive as possible. Porting has been handled by well-respected studio Nixxes for one, and there's a wealth of other new content too. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration, as it's being called, will contain the new chapter named Blood Ties, which can be played with or without PlayStation VR. It also includes new online co-op, endurance gameplay, more outfits, weapons and expedition cards, plus all of the previously released DLC. There's also an even harder extreme survivor difficulty with all automatic checkpoints stripped out. How good does that sound? Can't wait to get in Lara's shoes again. Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment and NetherRealm Studios have revealed 2 new characters from the Injustice 2 roster in a brand new gameplay clip, showcasing the one and only Wonder Woman and Blue Beetle. The trailer was officially revealed at Comic-Con in San Diego. Let's take a look, it's pretty brutal.
Your mind tricks won't harm me.
Then I'll rely on brute strength.
Did I mention I'm an Amazon? Submit to me. Batman sends a child against me?
I'm ready to level up.
Then let's see what you can do.
Doing well so far.
It's too soon to get cocky.
Wow, how much of a badass does Wonder Woman look in that? I can't wait. That was Injustice 2, which is due to launch in Q1 of 2017. We are super excited about it here at News2Gamers. As always, Leanna's been chatting to you guys this week across social media and finding out what you guys are getting hyped for at the moment. Now, being as someone who embraces female empowerment, sure Wonder Woman's at the top of your list for that game.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and she's brilliant. I've always loved female characters that defy stereotypes, and any girl like me who has been a gamer since they were young, I'm sure will understand what I mean. Silly as it sounds, these women are idols, showing that girls can do exactly what guys can do. Anyway, I'm babbling a little bit here, so let's get back to Injustice 2. Mikey O tweets, Injustice 2 has Blue Beetle. Sold. Jessie Elizabeth, yes, glad to hear Wonder Woman is returning. My main, Injustice 2. Donash tweets, anyone else get a chill watching the Injustice 2 trailer scene where Diana slams her sword against S.H.I.E.L.D.? Love that. Melissa tweets, surprisingly, Wonder Woman in Injustice 2 is neither oddly bulky or super busty. Now, talking of female badasses, a certain young lady by the name of Faith was released onto our screens earlier in June. Yes, I'm talking about Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and I wanted to see how you guys were getting on, running all over buildings and just generally being awesome. Sebastian Rodriguez, once I get my strength and durability up, I want to attempt to do parkour again, be just like Faith. Jarvan Casanova, Mirror's Edge, the story made me very moist. Right, now I don't know if you remember a certain trailer showcase at E3 this year. Who am I kidding? Of course you do. The God of War trailer was insanely good, and I just can't believe we haven't spoken about it. So I had to squeeze this one in here. Solid or sharp, video game-wise, God of War 4 is the great redeemer for gamers after Final Fantasy's epic disappointment. Aaron, starting God of War for the first time ever, PlayStation got me excited when they showcased God of War at E3. Jacob J, I really like the fact that Kratos is trying to be the father figure he never had. I can't wait when God of War 4 comes out. Now, so we mentioned last week we are taking a month break and we will be back in September. But in the meantime, you can still interact with us here at News2Gamers through our social media sites. You can tweet us at News2Gamers, give us a like on Facebook, or head over and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we'll be keeping you up to date throughout August with our News2Gamers bulletins. Stay tuned after the break, where we will be giving you a very iconic and emotional respawn, as it will be Rich's very last. Also, me and Simon will be here talking about what you can expect when we relaunch News2Gamers in September, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to N2G TV. Still to come, myself and Neil will continue our look at what's to come from one of this year's most anticipated games. Plus, Leanne and I shall be discussing the future of News2Gamers, the TV show, Extra, the website, and so much more. But first, a very emotional respawn now, as this will be the final one that is voiced by our very own Richard Gulick. So he's made it a special one.
So, as it's my last episode, I figured it would be apt to respawn our first episode, and already look at his nervous little face. Adorable. As you can see, Simon wasn't quite as animated back then as he is now, opting for a far less exciting demeanour, holding on to those cards for his dear life with no idea what to do with his hands. But I'm not one to judge, because on the subject of animation, check out this absolute last-minute travesty created by yours truly. I'll be honest, I don't have too strong a memory of making this episode. Up until the point of filming this, me and Si put so much time and energy into actually getting the show commissioned in the first place, the actual production phase seemed to fly by in a flash. But bugger me how far we've come since the first episode. The first 11 minutes is basically one long segment which follows the exact same format ad nauseum, a bit of speaky speak, a bit of watchy trailer, and rinse and repeat. It's only at 11:31 we finally get to meet the beautiful one and only Leanne Rogers, who in this instance seems to have a black hole periodically popping up in her head. I hadn't quite got the hang of the green screen at this point, but judging by the amount of takes both her and Simon used to get 30 bloody seconds of script recorded, I'm not going to get too down about my foibles. Now, as it goes, I don't think me and Simon quite realised exactly how much content you actually need to fill half an hour of TV a week, and just kind of threw in a random 3 minutes of stuff we filmed at EGX without any distinguishable narrative. It's kind of like watching a music video on mute, really. It keeps you occupied, but you leave the experience feeling slightly devalued. We then head over to the panel, or what is now known as N2G Extra, and look, it's our very own Neil Murdoch. This segment wasn't actually supposed to air, by the way, but you know, space to fill in that. And then the mistake at the end, the strike through Si's neck. I had a fair few complaints about that one. But anyway, I'm running short of time, but I want to thank everyone for sticking with us over the past few months while we got the show off the ground. I'm going to miss everyone involved in the show, and it's been an amazing ride. For perhaps the final time, this has been Richard Gulick for Respawn.
Yes, welcome to another dose of what we know here on News2Gamers, joined by Neil Murdoch, of course,
Hello.
my usual partner in crime.
Partner in crime, that's the nicest thing you've ever said.
It is, and I'll keep that one if I was you.
I'm going to take it.
Right, we're going to talk COD today. Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare. Compose yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be nice.
We're going to be good.
This is what you know.
Concentrate on the facts.
Yeah, what we know,
what we know,
what we think.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the first thing, what we do know, it's set in space, 2025.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
You play as Nick Ray,
Yes.
who's a Tier 1 operative, who's obviously now been sent from Earth to space
Yep.
to try and control all this
Because the people on Earth are reliant on the people in space.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a massive ship. No, there's a massive ship called the Retribution. Which we don't know yet if it's a base, if it's a it's going to be a battleground. We don't know what it's going to be, but we've not seen this before.
No.
So that is quite interesting.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a different angle on what we've usually come to expect. Obviously, what we have seen in trailers as well is vehicles this time.
Yeah, well, the Jackal.
Yeah.
So the Jackal is the spaceship, basically, what they're saying, which you will be able to pilot.
Control.
You will be able to control and stuff.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I love flying around and stuff.
Yeah, but it depends how you fly around and stuff. Because if it's Call of Duty, and we've seen some stuff off it.
Yeah.
It looked
still
very
quite linear. Star Wars, didn't it? That little flying section they showed. It looked very Star Wars.
I still think, looking at what we know, it's going to be go here, do here. I don't think it's going to be
very linear.
It's going to be as open as we need it to be.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Also, another sort of big aspect is the location within space.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to. Things change in different sections. So, you rely on the low gravity, space weather apparently. I don't know what space weather is.
Weather?
Apparently there's going to be a change.
Does it get warm? Does it get cold? I don't
know. I've never been up there.
No.
But
who knows?
Who knows? Multiplayer as well has had more added to it. I'm assuming as well with what we do know, we've heard a little bit on the weapons front. A lot of laser-based weapons.
Yeah, it's still not getting me excited. Even the stuff we know, because obviously with the stuff we researched and stuff, you've got the Jackal, the Retribution, the lasers, the low, zero gravity fighting, combat stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to find out what we know about this game, and it's not really pushing anything forward for
No,
me.
it's. I think a lot of people are feeling the same. However, it does still have a huge fan base.
Yes.
It still has a lot of appeal, and it still will sell a lot of units.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the one thing that I got slightly excited about was that Captain Reyes is going to be fighting the Radicals.
Yep.
And obviously, it's because Earth has been decimated. It's what's going on there. So that's why people are going into space. So the story kind of did pique me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I think the story will be quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think there will be a lot to it in terms of we're going to find out what happened in Earth first before it all went to shit. Basically.
It all kicked off. It all kicked off, and why are we going to space? And why do they need to rely on people in space? That exploration. Do they need to find a new planet? Do they need to find something where it's going to go through? So it's going to be, I think, much broader in what they're doing story-wise.
Do you think like it's going to be Iron Man and crossed with Star Wars?
That sounds so cool, but that's a hard thing to pull off.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's still the wall running, there's still the kind of exosuits, so from what we know of so far, they are pushing forward with futuristic. This is the whole thing.
Well, yeah, big time. And there's a lot of new abilities that you can actually build on your character throughout the story.
Yes.
As well as multiplayer as well. New perks, new abilities, new weapons, vehicles, locations, maps. So there is plenty there for Call of Duty fans to get excited about.
But what are we more excited about of what we know? What do you get with the game again?
Yes, so if you have pre-ordered the Legacy Edition, or if you do pre-order the Legacy Edition, you will be lucky enough to get Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4 as a lot of people know it, which is hailed still as the best Call of Duty ever. World at War personally was my favourite.
I did like World at War, but yeah.
Call of Duty 4. It set the standard, didn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, that's what I'm more excited about.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that's about anyway, so we're not going to go into that.
The fact that you're going to be returning as Captain Price, and you're going to be going through this story, which was incredible, you got to be a sniper and wearing the ghillie suits.
That's when you first saw that kind of stuff. Yeah. It was really cool. But for what we know about the new COD, if I could sum it up, it's going to be futuristic, space, some vehicles, same old you're going to get.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything new apart from the Retribution and the Jackal. So for me,
it's Infinity Ward. It's Infinity Ward returning, which a lot of people were shocked when they went to space, because they thought that if anyone's going to do something really innovative and bring the series back, it's going to be Infinity Ward. Now, this is a question to you guys out there. Do you think this is right for Infinity Ward? Have Infinity Ward done the right thing? Have they made the right decision on going to the future? You know?
I mean, have they, tweet us, and tell us what you think about it, because for me, I can't see anything new. I can't see anything new. Let's look at the facts. I can't see anything different for this to be exciting.
Yeah. No, I think I'll have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I'll have to agree with
That's the nicest thing I can say at this stage.
So that's our wrap up on Call of Duty. If you were to give it out of 10 on anticipation?
3, and that's me being really kind, really kind. That's because of the history and that's because of Modern Warfare and all that kind of stuff
and
with
the
it.
whole war run in Titanfall stuff.
Move on.
Right, that is the end of this segment. So join us tomorrow where we've got another dose of what we know here on News2Gamers. So there we go, another dose of what we know. We're going to be continuing those over the next couple of weeks, as well as we cover some more epic games coming in the next 6 months. Well, that's it.
That is it.
That is it. That is the end of N2G TV until
Only for a month,
September.
yes. We will be back.
Very exciting. Now, before we do go, we want to get our director dragged onto screen, which he's been very reluctant to do. Because he's now leaving News2Gamers and going on to bigger adventures.
Yes, we are all so sad he's leaving, but we're very proud of him.
Shall we drag him on?
Let's drag him on.
Let's drag him on. Come here.
And now...
Hello.
He's been really reluctant with this, hasn't he?
But we have brought you a surprise, and Simon's misjudgment gave me the responsibility to get a cake.
Yeah.
But in fairness, I did get one, but it's sitting at home, getting cold in the refrigerator, so we've had to improvise.
You have a donut.
So here we go, leaving present for you.
So yeah, thanks for everything we wanted to say, obviously, and I know that we've all enjoyed not just you making the show look incredible, but everyone's favourite feature is Respawn. And you are the brains behind it all.
I still hope to do a few respawns in the future if you'll let me.
We hope so too.
I'm sure
so
you
we
will.
are going to miss you so much.
Definitely,
It's going to be a group hug moment.
This is a group. Shall we hug it out right at the end? Let's hug it out. Guys, keep it locked. News2Gamers TV on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and we'll be back in September. Hug it out, guys.